Ready. Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of the City of Lenoir for Tuesday, January the 19th, 2021. We welcome you here. We welcome you into this new year of 2021. This is obviously our second meeting of the year, and we hope that every time we meet with you, it'll be moving in the best direction possible as we move forward. Before we get started with our call to order and our moment of silence, pledge of allegiance, I would like to go ahead and call our roll for this evening of who's with us.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you.
She's here.
We're being recorded.
Watch what you say.
Watch what you say. Can and will be held against you. Okay, in the council chambers, we have Councilmember John Beal, Councilmember Ike Perkins, Councilmember Todd Perdue, Councilmember Ralph Presswood, Councilmember David Stevens, myself, Mayor. We have City Manager Scott Hildebrand, and we have our Communications Director Joshua Harris. That's who's with us. Now we'll go down the list of who's on Zoom with us tonight. Mayor Pro Tem Chrissy Thomas.
I'm here.
Thank you. Councilmember Ben Willis.
I'm here.
City Attorney TJ Rohr.
I'm here, thank you.
Yes, sir. City Clerk Shirley Cannon. And now this Shirley is
I see
here.
her.
Finance Director Donna Bean.
Here.
Fire Chief Ken Hare.
Here.
Economic Development Director Kaylin Horn. Police Chief Brent Phelps.
I'm here.
Our Parks and Recreation Director Kenny Story.
I'm here.
Our Public Utilities Director Radford Thomas.
Here.
Our Planning Director Jenny Willock.
I'm here.
And our Public Works Director Jared Wright.
I'm here.
Thank you, everyone. And if there's anyone from the news topic that's on tonight, Garrett, we welcome Garrett with us as well from the news topic. So thank you. Did I leave anyone out for the list? Okay, thank you very much. As we move into our time of moment of silence and everything, I would like for you to continue your prayers for all of our health care in our area, our hospital, our frontline workers, emergency and police and fire. And of course, we've added our vaccine clinic and all the workers there. And I think that is moving very well in the area. So we thank them for all their hard work on putting that together. And thank you. It's been a tough job. Obviously, our field hospital is still in operation, and we continue to thank Samaritan's Purse and all the personnel who have come in to help with the field hospital here in our community, and we appreciate it. Our numbers have been kind of up and down, and this week have been a little down, thank goodness, and we're glad of that. We hope that trend will continue in the coming days. So keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. And also, I'd like to add, as tomorrow we start a new administration in our country, and I would hope that everyone will please pray for peace and understanding, cooperation, unity for everyone, for all of our nation, our state, our county, our city, that we all will continue to try to work together to make our nation the best it can be. And we look forward to these changes coming, and hopefully things will move in the right direction, and there will be no incidents and things that happen around our nation tomorrow. We pray for peace. We pray for everyone to do everything they possibly can to make the transition and move into this new year as best we can for our country. We really do need that. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, and unfortunately we didn't get to do the things that we normally do, and that's meet together. We appreciate those things that were held in our community. We're unable to get large groups together and hold the ceremonies that we've always had in the past. But would like to say thank you to Mayor Pro Tem Chrissy Thomas and Councilmember Ike Perkins and our Assistant Recreation Director Lester Whittington and several from the NAACP who put together a small virtual ceremony yesterday. It was mentioned in the paper today, a very nice article on that, and we thank them for that and thank them for putting that together. That is available, isn't it, Councilmember Perkins, to be seen?
Yes.
That you can view that if you'd like to. And I know there were wonderful things that were talked about from the things that Dr. King has done that did over time, and some great music and great words were spoken, and we appreciate everyone who took part in that. I know it was a very small group, and they followed the guidelines of that, but we appreciate what they did there. So all that being said, let's please now rise, have our moment of silence, and remain standing as we salute our country with our pledge. Thank you. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As we start our meeting tonight, we do not have matters scheduled for public hearings this evening, so we'll move on to our consent agenda items, which consist of minutes of the City Council meeting of Tuesday, January the 5th, 2021, as submitted. Item B is the FY2021 Annual Audit Contract. This is with the City of Lenoir for the FY2021 Audit Contract as submitted by S. Eric Bowman, PA, for the City of Lenoir. The agreed upon cost for the audit is $98 per hour per person with a 75% cap for interim invoice approval of $36,382, which is 75% of the prior year's audit fee. And item C is the budget amendment. This is for budget amendments to made to the annual budget ordinance for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021 as follows. The general fund to allocate for COVID reimbursement of $314,054.98. The water fund to allocate COVID reimbursement in the amount of $25,400. Item 3 is Main Street to allocate COVID reimbursement in the amount of $8,200. For the Lenoir Tourism Development Authority to allocate for COVID reimbursement in the amount of $18,000. The number 5 is the general fund to allocate funding for the North Carolina Rural Center grant reimbursement for wood grain millwork in the amount of $55,000. And item 6 is the general fund to allocate funding for the donation to improve the bathrooms and deck at the T.H. Broad Hill Walking Park in the amount of $100,000. There's your 3 items for the consent agenda item. It's open for any discussion and or motion concerning these items.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion from Councilmember Stevens to accept the consent agenda items A, B, and C as presented. If there's no other questions, I will call for the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
On the phone?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and that carries unanimously. Thank you very much. We will move on then to the requests and petitions of any citizens. There are no citizens with us tonight. Is there anyone on the virtual call or whatever that would like to address the council? Okay, hearing no one, we'll move on. We do not have reports of our boards and commissions this evening, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of the city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mr. Mayor, council, a couple items for information this evening. The Planning Board and Board of Adjustments will have a joint meeting, a virtual meeting on Monday, January 25th at 5:30 in these chambers. The Committee of the Whole will meet on Tuesday, January 26th, 8:30 in a virtual meeting. And then also the Foothills Regional Airport Authority will conduct a virtual meeting on Wednesday, January 27th at noon. Any questions about any of those meetings?
Any questions?
Tonight, we have 2 items for your consideration. The first is an item we held a public hearing on 2 weeks ago, the Chapter 160D legislation. This public hearing was advertised for 2 weeks ago on December 25th, 2020, and again on January 1st, 2021. You heard the report last meeting from Planning Director Jeannie Wheelock discussing the changes. And if you have questions of her tonight, she's available via phone, but also we're ready for action if you are.
Okay, you heard the recommendation from City Manager, Mr. Hildebrand, concerning Chapter 160D legislation, concerning changes to the legislation adopted by the the General Assembly pertaining to this Chapter 160D. This law also makes technical and clarifying amendments to this chapter. It was advertised as presented, so are there any questions concerning these amendment changes?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this. Jenny did an excellent job tidying this up and presenting it several weeks ago, and I think it's a great step forward with regards to our planning and our ordinances, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
Thank you, sir. Motion to approve from Councilmember Purdue. Any other questions or discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And virtually?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That stands approved unanimously. We appreciate that. Mr. Hildebrand?
I would note, Ms. Wheelock will be back probably late spring with some additional code changes regarding subdivisions and a couple other items. So she mentioned that last time, but did want to make that be on your radar coming up.
Okay.
The next item you have tonight is a bid award for improvements to T.H. Brohill Walking Park. This is to go back and renovate and upgrade the restroom facility. Let me first go back and thank the Brohill Family Foundation. They made a generous donation of $100,000 to the City of Lenoir to go back and pay for those improvements and also to improve the deck on the property. And that's something they'll buy supplies, and city will do that in-house to go back and make those repairs. But the restroom bids came in. We had 3 bids. The low bidder was Precision Contracting Company for $70,892. And I think Kenny Story would recommend we go back and award that to the low bidder. And again, thanks to the Brohill Family Foundation for funding these improvements.
All right, you've heard the recommendation for the bid award from the city manager concerning the T.H. Brohill Walking Park. Again, we all add our thanks to the Brohill Family Foundation for the donation of the $100,000 for the improvements to this park. This is a wonderful facility, well used by our citizens, not only of Lenoir, but of Caldwell County and the surrounding area who come in to enjoy this. Beautifully done there. Beautiful facilities, but it's just time for some upgrades and things to be done there, and we appreciate that they're willing to do that. So you heard the recommendation, the amount of $70,892. This is to Precision Contracting Company for the renovations and upgrades to the restroom facility and the large deck that overlook the pond at the walking park. I'll open it up for any discussion.
The bid does not include the deck. The funding will pay for the deck, but the city staff will do the deck.
Okay, thank you. This is just for the renovations to the restroom facility.
Correct.
That's $70,000. Okay, I'll open it up to council. Any discussion, question, or motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to first thank the Brohill family for the donation. And also, I'd like to move that we accept this bid for the upgrade of our bathrooms at the T.H. Brohill Walking Park.
Thank you. Councilmember Perkins makes a recommendation to accept the bid award as presented for the T.H. Brohill Walking Park. No other discussion. We'll call for the question. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And virtually?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That carries unanimously as well. Mr. Hildebrand?
That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on then to any report and recommendations from our city attorney, Mr. Rohr.
None, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hope you're doing well.
Well, waiting on the vaccine like everybody else.
Understand. It's right around the corner. Thank you for that. All right, we'll move on then. Do have a couple of board reappointments to present to you tonight that was presented to you originally on January 5th City Council meeting. This is for the Lenoir Business Advisory Board and for the city's planning board. For the Business Advisory Board, Mr. Tim Biddix for an additional 3-year term to the board, and Mr. Matt Underwood, additional 3-year term to the board, both serving now, been faithful members of the board. Mr. Biddix is the actual co-chair of the Business Advisory Board, and we appreciate their willingness to serve and continue serving this fine board. And to the Planning Board, Mr. James Bradshaw for a 4-year term. Mr. Bradshaw has also served well and does a great job with our Planning Board. We appreciate this. This has been discussed with both Mrs. Kaylin Horn, of course, who looks over after the Business Advisory Board, and Jenny Wheelock and our Planning Board, and they recommend these highly to remain on the board. So I will present those to you for our recommendation to continue their service.
I make a motion that the Planning Board, Mr. Bradshaw, and Business Advisory Board, Mr. Bidix, Mr. Underwood, be approved as recommended.
Thank you. We have a motion from Councilmember Purdue to accept these members as presented to be reappointed to these boards that they are serving on. Any discussion on that? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And virtually?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And one other thing, I do have a board announcement. We have had an open seat on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and I would like to announce tonight that I'd like to recommend Mr. Tim Porch to fill that seat, to serve a 2-year term on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. I have discussed this with Mr. Story. He is well recommended coming to this. Mr. Porch, of course, coached ball at High Brighton High School, and he's been involved in athletics in our community for many, many years. So I would like to announce that he would like to see him serve on this board. This appointment would be voted on by our council at the February 2nd meeting, since we are presenting him tonight for the first time. And we appreciate his willingness to be a part of our board. So I would present that as information, and we'll discuss that at the February 2nd meeting.
Mayor, I think you would be an excellent addition to that board.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think you will be as well to that. So appreciate that. Okay. We'll move on then. Do we have any reports and recommendations of any of our council members? Mayor Pro Tem Thomas or Councilmember Perkins, anything about the meeting yesterday with the Martin Luther King Day? I know it was a great
The
event.
only thing, yeah, it was great. I think that we had a total of 6 people, and we had a young man, Reverend Rocky Dula, who portrayed or did the Martin Luther King speech, and he did that without any notes or anything, and I thought it was great.
Wow.
And we had Miss Faith Banner, who sang a song, and I thought it went real well, and I know that we needed to do something in remembrance or recognition of Dr. King. So thanks to Lester and his people there at the MLK Center organized this, and we just followed suit, and it was very nice. It was short, but it was to the point, and it was nice. So I'm very appreciative to all those that took part in making this Martin Luther King Day a virtual success.
Thank you.
Ms. Perkins, you did get out and walk the route that we normally march.
I'm gonna be honest, no.
It was a virtual one.
That's what I'm going to say. It was a virtual one.
I walked from the back of that room to the front.
He did that walk in his mind, didn't he? Mayor Pro Tem Thomas, you have anything to add to that?
It was a great program, and it was certainly an opportunity for us to use our digital resources. That's the world we live in, but we had over 600 views, so certainly gave us the opportunity to kind of let other people see it that may not have seen it had we been in-house. We don't normally have that amount of people, so it was just good to see that people enjoyed it and got to be a part of the experience.
Thank you. Any other council members? Anyone have anything to bring before us? Mr. Willis, I know you're on virtual tonight with us. You have anything from the league that anything needs to be discussed?
Nothing new to report.
Okay, thank you very much. Any of our department heads, anything that you would like to bring before us? Discuss anything? All right, I'm seeing everybody shaking their head. Hopefully that means everything's going well.
Mr. Mayor, this may or may not be of any interest, but I called the city manager's week and asked what the white markings are on our curving around the city.
They're marking water meters for installation of the new water meters.
Installation of new water meters, okay?
Just marking those for folks to find it when they go to install those.
With a blank look, I see that I'm the only one who even thought that.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up. We'll make sure we take a look.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I would like to say that the improvements on Mulberry Street and Greenhaven Drive really have added to the beauty of our city. I think our public works group did a great job with both of those repaving jobs.
Good, well, thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you, they look, well, you like them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, that's a great job was done there. Kevin Horn, I know you have a new employee, you wanted to just mention anything about that tonight to us?
Next week.
Next week?
Yeah, next week.
Yep. Yep. I think you'll have the opportunity to meet with him next week during committee of the whole, but we do have Matthew Anthony who has joined us and that is going great, and I'm super excited about that. So
Good.
I'm sure we have an opportunity to meet and speak with him soon.
So look forward to, I have met Matthew, and I know he's already on the job doing some good things already, and we appreciate that, and look forward to everyone getting a chance to meet him and find out a little more about him and what he's going to bring to us, to the city. So thank you for that. All right.
Thank you.
If there's anything else that needs to come before us? If not, we stand adjourned.